Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Surprise Thursday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Indiana Jones Adventure Series, Indiana Jones from Raiders of the Lost Ark. In his full getup, that is. Let's get into it! Let's begin with a look at the packaging. And here on the top, pretty plain, a hook, a little bit of tape right there to hold it closed. Indiana Jones Adventure Series. And then here in the background we have some nice artwork of Indy and probably a German Army World War II car. I don't know if I can say that one word, if that's allowed, of that World War II German Army. Build an artifact of the Ark, Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark assortment number. Warning, don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. 4-and-up, plastic-free packaging, except tape and glue. On the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print, made in Vietnam print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. On this side, we have the cross sail and the Ark, and it does show what pieces come with which figure. And we have Indiana Jones, Marion Ravenwood, Salah, Belloc in his ceremonial guard, and Major Todt. And then each sold separately, subject to availability, and there's in some other languages, recycled, and whatever that is. On the back, we have Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Build an artifact, the Ark. Nice digital render of Indy, and then another digital render here showing the figure and all of his accessories, plus the build-a-figure piece, or the build-of-artifact piece. In the background, that nice map that we always see in the Indiana Jones movies. And then here we have, warning, attention, Achtung, don't stick things in any language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. Attention, don't stick things in your French pie hole either, even though we already covered that. Whatever. Small, fine, made in Vietnam print, Disney print, Hasbro print. That, my friends, completes a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. We'll start off with the accessories and the build and artifact pieces. And these are the, I guess they're birds? Falcons, maybe? No. It looks like a person too, so maybe Osiris. I'm not sure. But anyway, these are the two decorative pieces that go on the lid of the Ark, faced like this. It does have nice molded details, and it does look to be molded in the swirly twirly plastic, the gold plastic, and then it also has a gold paint on it as well, so that's pretty cool. And next up we have his rolled up whip, which goes on his belt, and it really doesn't do that very well, but the accessory itself does have nice molded detail on it. And here's the whipping whip, which I'm gonna probably have to put in some water and work on a little bit to get it to hold a shape other than this, but it has that same nice molded detail that the rolled up whip has as well. Time for the handy dandy tweezers, my friends. He comes with 2 sets of extra hands. Here's his hitchhiking hand, or it's his bullwhip hand. And then he has a sort of half open hand. And then he has a couple of fists, because what would be an Indiana Jones figure without some fists? All the hands have nice molded detail on them, and they have orbital posts or ports in them. They're all like that. And here's the other fist. It does have nice molded details on it. And here is his pistol. Which I never researched exactly what Indiana Jones' pistol was. It looks to be maybe a 38, but it could possibly be a 357, but I think it's a 38. And then lastly, we have the fertility idol. And I'm sure it's probably molded in this swirly twirly plastic, and then it has this nice gold paint app on it, holding his butt, or her butt. And that face, whew, I don't even want to know. Now let's take a look at the figure itself. At some angles it looks like Harrison Ford, and most angles it does not. And I don't know, maybe that's just me, maybe it's the paint, maybe it's the sculpt. I'm not sure what the issue is with the face. But again, like I said, some angles it looks like Harrison Ford, and in most angles it does not. It's got his signature fedora, and it's got some weathering on it. So nice dry brushing going on there, at least on the top side. On the bottom, not really much anything going on. And that same kind of dry brush on the jacket to show it has been worn a good bit, and it does, on the back as well. Now this piece is of course just an overlay. The shirt is molded as the torso. His bag is not removable. It is under the jacket overlay. I'm sure you probably could boil and pop his arms and take it off and then remove the bag if you wanted to, for whatever reason. And let's see, he's got some paint deco for the belt buckles, and here's the holster. The gun does go in it, and you work at it a bit and you can get the strap to hold the gun in. This, however, is another matter altogether. I'm not pleased with this piece at all. And then it looks like everything else is just kind of molded in color, and it does have nice details. I'm going to take it back. There's a little bit of dry brushing on the shoes or boots. Maybe some kind of steel-toed work boots. I don't know what type of shoes Indiana Jones wears. Let's take a look at his articulation. He can look up that far, and he can look down that far. And like the rest of the series, the neck, torso, and head are all separate pieces with a ball at the bottom and like a dumbbell at the top. So he can chicken neck. He's got all kinds of waggle. He can do the full Exorcist. At the shoulder, he does have butterfly. So it can go back that far. The jacket overlay does hinder it a little bit. Back that far. Forward that far. And he can raise his arm up approximately 90 degrees. 360 degree rotation at the shoulder as well. Hinge and swivel at the elbow. Swivels around 360 degrees and gives you a good bit better than 90 degrees there. And like the rest of the series, his hand is on that dumbbell or half dumbbell, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. I'm going to say it's a dumbbell. And the hands just port onto there, and it gives you up and down, in and out, 360-degree rotation, and all kinds of waggle. Nothing in the torso. He does have, I think it's a ball joint at the waist, and it gives him all kinds of hula going on there. You can bend back that far, forward that far. Oops, that's a little leg in there. So forward that far. And then of course left and right tilt, and 360-degree rotation there as well. At the hips, he can give you that much of the splits. He can kick forward about 90 degrees, maybe a little more. Back he gets maybe a step, maybe a half a step. Cut at the upper thigh gives you 360-degree rotation. Hinge and swivel at the knee, swivels 360 degrees, and slightly better than 90 degrees bend on the ankle. I mean on the knee. At the ankle, tilts down that far, tilts up that far. The pants do get in the way, pants leg. And then he does have a forward-facing rocker for tilt. Now again, as far as the gun goes, it will go in the holster. The flap will come down, and the strap will go in the hole eventually. So I'm not going to sit here and go through all that on the video. And the way the whip is supposed to work is it's supposed to hang by this strap right here, and it's supposed to, there's a little peg on it right there, and it's supposed to go in this hole on the belt right there, and it doesn't want to stay in there even when I can get it in there. And it really doesn't want to go in there at all. The plastic is a little bit too soft, and I think that may be what the main problem is. But you see there, it doesn't want to go in there. And that, my friends, does it for a look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have all of Wave 1 Indiana Jones Adventure Series, along with the Build an Artifact, the Ark of the Covenant. We have in the front row Indiana Jones, Sala, Marion, and in the back Belloc in his ceremonial garb, and Tot. For our final set of comparisons from Indiana Jones Adventure Series, we have Indiana Jones himself, as he appeared in Raiders of the Lost Ark for most of the movie. From the Marvel Legends series, we have, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From G.I. Joe Classified series, we have the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black series, we have the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison from Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, we have the 40th anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Indiana Jones Adventure Series, Series 1, Indiana Jones, I have to say, we'll start with the drawbacks. The strap that holds the whip in just isn't from the factory up to snuff. The peg is a bit soft, and the actual hole that it goes in isn't a hole. At least on mine it wasn't. I had to take a fine-tipped scalpel and pierce the belt where the hole is, because it did not go all the way through. And even then, I still had a lot of difficulty getting that really soft pin to stick in that hole. It was quite difficult, and it makes me not want to remove that piece from the figure ever again. And another thing that helps, if you take his satchel and situate it where it's behind the coiled up whip, that helps also. The strap that holds the gun, once I lined it up and used my handy dandy tweezers on it, it went in there fairly easily. But it's still an issue that you can't really do those two things without doing extra things to the figure. And the last negative, I guess, I'm going to mention is the likeness. Like I said before, there's some angles where it kind of looks like Harrison Ford, and then a lot of angles where it really doesn't. And again, I don't know if it's the sculpt, I don't know if it's the paint, I don't know exactly what it is. It just, sometimes it looks like him and sometimes it doesn't. And when it doesn't, that's most of the time. Again, that's my opinion. Your mileage may vary. Now, as far as, well, there is one more negative, and that is the fact that the whipping whip is not wired, and I really wish that was the case. Even with all the other negatives, that would have helped this figure a lot, tremendously. It really would have. Now, as far as the positives, the jacket looks good. He's got articulation in all the right places. Oh, of course, I mean, the range of motion is what I'm talking about. He has nice range of motion, butterflies in the shoulders. And again, the range of motion is pretty good, even without a cut in the chest. Which, honestly, on this line, I prefer. I would rather have them have a cut at the waist over the cut in the chest. And as far as the way that the hands go on, the spare hands, or when you change the hands out, I really haven't made up my mind on if I like them or not. Time will tell, I suppose. I do like the range of motion that they give you, that you can put it in almost any pose that you need to. Almost, not quite. And just like the dry brushing on the jacket really does a lot to set this figure off too. The hat and the jacket, rather. And even the shoes. He comes with the right accessories: the coiled up whip, a whipping whip, his pistol, extra hands, the fertility idol. And overall, I'd have to say I like this figure, even though, again, the likeness isn't there. It's just the negatives are more frustrating than, I guess, real issues with it. They're just, especially that strap that holds the whip into place. It was just really frustrating to try and get that to stay in place. Well, that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews, or just help the channel out further, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future, you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.